Welcome to East by West Farms. Here we grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Today I'm going to set up the automatic duck coop. If you follow our journeys, you know that we have got a bunch of ducklings. We hatch out 4 Peking ducks. They are huge now. And we also bought 11 ducklings from mail order, 5 Muscovy, and 6 mixed breed. They are kind of in a stage that ugly duckling stage that they are in the process of growing the mature feather, and so they kind of look really ugly. We have been kind of using a small brooder for the Peking ducks, and then for the ducklings, the mail ordered ducklings, we put them in the chicken coop, chicken run, and they have been living there for since we got them. They are okay, but they kind of make a mess in there because they splash water all over the place. The chicken didn't seem to bother them, but it's just kind of messy. Things are kind of going back to normal, and we are get really busy our day job. So at the times, actually, 2 weeks from now, Chris is going to travel, so we will not be able to be here. We need to set up automatic watering and gate and protection. The lumber price has been going through the roof because of the pandemic. Even though the price come down, it's still twice as before the pandemic. We also want to be self-sufficient, so we try to use whatever resource we have in the farm. This is our first trial of building a duck coop with the ash juniper branches, which we have plenty of ash juniper tree over here. We cut the branches and the small twigs and all that become compost, but the relatively large branches are used to build this kind of A-frame duck coop. We're going to build an electric fence around this so they can come out, and this is just for them to sleep in, so it should be okay for that. I already built the A-frame and moved it over here. It seems to be sturdy enough. To put the hardware cross on is pretty straightforward since it's A-frame. So I just use a staple gun and staple the hardware on the branch, and that's pretty much it. The ducks are here to check out the new coop. I finished doing wrapping half of the coop with the hardware cloth. The problem is we run out of hardware cloth. Christmas trip is coming up unexpectedly, so we don't have time to order more hardware cloth. So what I'm going to do is use this fence material. These have relatively large holes. It's a 2 by 3 inches hole. But it should be okay because the ducks are relatively big already. I plan to put a hay roof on the duck coop anyway, so I just wrap it, cover it with hay, so that the raccoon cannot just reach in to get the ducks.
We did finish the duck coop and the duck run. We've got fencing around the duck run and electric wire on the outside, so that hopefully will keep the predators away. Haiying is building an automatic controller that can open and close the door automatically. When the sun comes up, it opens. When the sun goes down and all the ducks are in, it closes. Ducks need a fair amount of water. They need to clean their nostrils. They usually soak the food in the water. The plan to do that is that we have a drip irrigation hose that comes from the other side of the house. It's connected to the city water. The plan is to fill up that trash can with water on a timer. We use this little pump. It's a 12-volt pump to pump the water from the trash can into that galvanized bucket.
So we finished setting up the duck coop and the automatic watering and the door system. I have here a solar panel. That's the last thing I need to set up to charge the batteries. On my right here is a trash can that has basically a bag of food in there, and I set it up so that it will refill as the ducks eat the food. We still need to figure out somehow to prevent the rodents to come to eat the food, but that's the next project. On my left over here are 2 trash cans that basically the water bucket. I set a time at the faucet so we can fill up these 2 buckets when we need to. This bucket, one has a pump that brings the water inside the coop, and this one has a pump that fill up the black tub over there. The idea is that at the daytime the ducks are outside of the coop, and they will use that water in the black tub, and so the controller is set up to fill the water in the black tub in the morning when it's bright for 2 minutes, and then it fills up for 1 minute every 2 hours. So the ducks have continuous fresh water. The water pump is controlled by the same controller that controls the door. So the idea is if you have ducks, you know that they don't go into the coop by themselves like the chickens do. So you need to have some way to entice them to go into the coop before it gets dark. The black tub will be almost dry by the end of the day. When it's close to get dark, then the water pump for the inside tub will start to run for 1 minute, and that will entice the ducks to go in there to drink the water. It's come on like every minute for 2 or 3 times to lure all the ducks in. Ducks seems to be pretty lazy. Once they move in there, they don't they don't get out anymore. The controller will wait for 10 minutes after you run the water to make sure all the ducks are in, and then it will close the door automatically. In the morning, it will open the door when it's detected there's enough light. I'm going to just test run the water. The ducks really like the water. Next is the controller. Right now, everything is it's in this shoebox. I could have one controller control the 2 water pump and the door, but it's better to have some redundancy. So I have one controller control the door and the water inside, and then a separate controller control the water pump outside. And I also use 2 batteries, again, just for redundancy purpose. I'm not sure how many of you guys will be interested in this. So if you are interested in, leave the comment below, and maybe I make a separate video on showing how to make these controllers. All you need is Arduino controller. I think this is a Arduino Nano, and then you have a motor controller, and then you use a photoresistor to detect the light. The program in the Arduino Nano will detect the light change from dark to bright. That's in the morning. It then will trigger the controller to run the pump, and then you have start a timer for run the pump for every 2 hours. The controller for the door, of course, is a little more complicated. I have over here is 2 switches so that I can close the door, or I can control the door either using the Arduino in auto mode, or I can control it in the manual mode. I also added a switch to, in case I want to do things, I can switch this off. The same thing, I have basically a light switch to detect the light, and then I also have 2 proximity switch that is mounted on the door, so I can detect whether the door is closed or open. So I do show how the manual works. So basically, for the manual, you just put the switch in manual, and then you can move the door. You can close the door. Since it's bright, and if I turn the controller to auto, it will open up the door. So let's see how that works. So now it's in auto mode. The controller detects the light, and then it opens the door automatically. And then once it's reached here, it will stop. In this video, I showed you our In this video, I showed you our automated duck coop with automatic food and water dispenser. This way we can leave the ducks for a few days without a duck sitter if we need to travel for work. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumb up. If you have any questions or comments, please leave down below. If you have not done so, please These are two female ducks. Hey, be nice. And this is a small one. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it down below. If you have not done so, please hit the subscribe button to follow our journey with the East by West farms.